Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Bokar Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Ba'ashem. In the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Balash Kodash, the Holy Tongue. I say Rock Thumb to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And the title of the sit down lesson is going to be the Gospel of Luke 12, verse 51. It's going to be the sit down lesson. Sit down lesson number one. As in the Gospel of Luke 12, verse 51, it's going to be the title of the sit down lesson. And this is the Gospel of Luke 21. The Gospel of Luke 12, verse 51. It says, supposedly that I come to give peace on earth, I tell you, neighborhood division. Right, so that's when we see a division between the nations. Hey, so we see Iran versus Israel that's heating back up once again. And you see the tension between the United States and Iran that's heating up once again as well too. So these are increasing significant signs that we're going to be seeing nation against nation and kingdom to kingdom. That's something will continue to increase. That Yahushua made some more precepts to help them on the way. Because Yahushua says, I think not that I come to set peace on earth, I tell you neighborhood division. And that's what we're seeing. So that's something will continue to increase. So we're going to be seeing modern ruler against modern ruler, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and seditions among the nations. So we're going to be seeing many different aspects of tensions between the nations. And that's something will continue to increase. And this is bring out some precepts from the KJV. So I'll give you a second. Yep, this is the book of Luke 12 and verse 51. Read it again from the BibleGateway.com patches KJV 1611. The Holy Scriptures, it reads, it says, suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth. Right, Yahushua said in question mark. I tell you, nay. Right, Yahushua says, I'll take neighborhood division. Right, nation again, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. Matthews 24. Matthews 24 and verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, which goes to Ethnos, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, so right on top of it is going to be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places as well too. And the nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom that Yahushua spoke about. Matthews 24 and verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Right, so all these increasing tensions between the nations and different kingdoms is only going to continue to increase. So these are the beginning of sorrows, and we're going to see more increasing on a daily basis. So that's only going to continue to increase. And this is Luke 12, verse 49. I come to set a fire on earth, and what if it be kindled already? Like, because we know Heavenly Father's coming back to fire on earth. Why he's having these nations? Why he having these nations going this one as well too? Right along with Yahushua. So this is Matthews 10, verse 34. It says, I think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace but a sword, because we know Yahweh, His only begotten Son, Yahushua, they both made a war. Exodus 15, verse 3. And we know the Heavenly Father, He's a righteous, boundless, just power. What's that? Ecclesiastes 12, verse 14. It says, verse 35, I come to set a man of various against his father. Hey, just like that, what was that story? I forgot the story that took place. What was that, a couple of days ago? Like a week ago? I think like a week ago. You had this 11-year-old boy. He had, I think he was mad at his father because he took his Nintendo Switch. No, he was about 11, 12 years old because I think the father put the Nintendo Switch in his safe deposit area, and he had the concealed weapon. So his son was able to find his key because he was angry at his pops because he told him to go to bed. He got to go to school in the morning. You know, he got mad because they took his Nintendo Switch from him because he disobeyed his father. And then he had found the key. He got so angry and mad. He had took the concealed weapon, was his license, I believe. He had unalived his father. Hey, so we're gonna see a man should be a folk in his own household. So we're gonna see that more and more lives at times, and that's gonna take a full effect towards all the nations, over in modern day of Babylon, and around the world. This is verse 35. It says, "For I come set the man furious against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." So we're gonna see that a lot as well too. It says Matthew 10, verse 36, and a man fold should be head of his own household, right? So a man should be a fold of his own household. So we'll see that more about these other times. Yep, Matthews 24 verse 7, read that again. It says, "But nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom," which goes to ethnos. So we got these protests and seditions, uprisings, uproars, people world, moderate rule against moderate rule. So all that's going to continue to increase. And that's why it says, what's that, the book of Luke 21 verse 25? There should be signs in the sun, and the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth expressive nations will be placed, especially the expressive nations will be placed, as we see in the famines and pestilent plagues and all these signs that Yahweh Shemashah is showing us. And you're going to have war nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And a man should be a enemy of his own household. And that's what we see more and more sometimes over here in America, amongst all the nations. Hey, just like that story took place down in Georgia. I think it's like a suburban area over there in Georgia, outside of Atlanta. You had this East Indian couple. I think they children, I believe they survived the attack. And him, his East Indian wife, East Indian guy, his wife, they got into an argument. I believe it was like a long-standing domestic dispute. So what he had there was he had unalived his wife, his three relatives, and then the children they had to have them seen. Lucky they survived it because the individual, the husband that shot unalived his wife, and the wife's three family members. I think it was like four people in total. He had left the scene. And I think it was like a few blocks down. The local authorities called him. He was into custody. Hey, so we're seeing a man should be a fold with his own household. So we're seeing that more a lot in these other times. And that's why Yahushua says, supposing that I come to set peace on earth, I take neighbor division. So more nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, seditions, uprisings, uproars from the world, more political tensions, more geopolitical tensions, economical tensions, nuclear tensions. There are many different categories that we're seeing. So all that's going to continue to increase. But besides that, this was just a sit down lesson that I want to bring out. Yeah, so this was just a sit down lesson that I want to bring out of Luke 12 and verse 51. And that was the title of the sit down lesson. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makar and the Heavenly Father, that you name is Yahweh, and his own begotten Son, Ba'ashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, the Holy Tongue. And I say Barak Thumb to the elders, the apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwa. Until next time, I would say Kwame Sharala and Baba Ball. Shalom.